For much of 2020, the former U.S. President Donald Trump and his fellow Republicans publicly denounced Wuhan virus expert Dr. Anthony Fauci's suggestions for mitigating the pandemic. These efforts have now taken a new flavor. Some Republicans now suggest that Dr. Fauci could be personally involved in the origin of the Wuhan virus itself. You heard that right. A Republican senator says that Dr. Fauci authorized and funded risky research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Now, there's nothing new about this theory. It has surfaced several times in the past, but Republicans say that it was not examined and investigated properly due to lack of curiosity from health officials and the quote-unquote pro-China bias of the American media. That's what they say. But how true is this theory? Let's separate the facts from fiction, and I'll start with the accusation. On Monday, the United States conducted a congressional hearing on the Wuhan virus. All top health officials testified before a Senate committee. The hearing covered a host of things like the ongoing vaccination drive, President Biden's pandemic response, the future of the mask mandate, and the origin of the Wuhan virus. Now, on the last issue, the origin of the Wuhan virus, a war of words broke out between Rand Paul, a Republican senator from Kentucky, and Dr. Anthony Fauci, who is now President Biden's pandemic advisor. The senator, Rand Paul, accused America's federal agencies of funding a gain-of-function research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology in China. What is gain-of-function research? We've covered it on the show before. In simple words, gain-of-function is a sort of experiment or experiments which involve genetically modifying viruses. So you create variants that are more infectious in an effort to better understand them. Dr. Fauci happens to be a leading advocate of this type of research, gain-of-function. He supports it. He was instrumental in reauthorizing it domestically in America after it was suspended due to safety concerns. Let me repeat that. Dr. Fauci authorized this kind of research domestically. He allowed American scientists to create more infectious versions of viruses, to study them. Now, the Republican senator said that Dr. Fauci knew that China was conducting such experiments. He pressed Fauci to call out what he called a conspiracy. Watch this.
Think about that for a moment. The SARS virus had a 15% mortality. We're fighting a pandemic that has about a 1% mortality. Can you imagine if a SARS virus that's been juiced up and had viral proteins added to it, to the spike protein, if that were released accidentally? Dr. Fauci, do you still support funding of the NIH funding of the lab in Wuhan?
Senator Paul, with all due respect, you are entirely and completely incorrect that the NIH has not ever and does not now fund gain-of-function research in the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
Do they fund Dr. Barrick?
It did not stop there. The hearing went on for hours, and the senator did not budge. He said labs in America were still conducting such experiments, that they were fooling with nature. He lashed out at Dr. Fauci for allowing China to do the same. Watch the second exchange now.
In the U.S., we have 11 labs doing it, and you have allowed it here. We have a committee to do it, but the committee has granted every exemption. You're fooling with Mother Nature here. You're allowing super viruses to be created with a 15% mortality. It's very dangerous. I think it was a huge mistake to share this with China, and it's a huge mistake to allow this to continue in the United States. And we should be very careful to investigate where this virus came from.
I fully agree that you should investigate where the virus came from. But again, we have not funded gain-of-function research on this virus in the Wuhan Institute of Virology, no matter how many times you say it.
There was research. There was research done with Dr. Shi and Dr. Barrick.
Now, the name of two institutes stand out in this face-off. The first one is America's National Institute of Health, NIH. The second one is China's Wuhan Institute of Virology. Let's tell you a bit about the link between these two. Yes, the two are linked. Did the National Institute of Health in America provide funding to the Wuhan lab in China? Well, this claim is partially true. In 2014, the NIH awarded a $3.4 million grant. This was to a New York-based non-profit organization called the Eco Health Alliance. Remember this name, Eco Health Alliance. This group conducted research on bat viruses at the Wuhan Lab of Virology, the Wuhan Institute of Virology in China. Eco Health Alliance paid the Wuhan laboratory more than $500,000 over a period of 5 years. And this was with the approval of the US State Department. So yes, in a way, America did fund research at the Wuhan laboratory. But there's no evidence whatsoever that the scientists, quote unquote, juiced up COVID-19 in the lab, as the senator puts it, or that this money funded gain-of-function research. No proof of that. This grant was approved in May 2014. 5 months later, the Obama administration announced it would not fund new projects that involved gain-of-function research, citing safety and security risks. So this issue is kind of settled, unless the laboratories took money and used it for purposes that they did not disclose. Now, as for the origin of the virus, scientists are still uncertain. They do not know where it came from. Most believe the virus jumped from animals to humans, most likely in the wild. In March, a team of scientists from the WHO in China released a report. It left the issue of origin unresolved. We reported that. But a lot of people still believe that the virus was designed in a lab. Now, scientists from multiple countries have published and analyzed the genome sequence of the virus. And they have overwhelmingly concluded that the virus originated in the wild, that its genetic makeup showed no signs of alteration, and that the ability of the virus to bind to human cells is most likely the result of natural selection. But then again, no research into the origins of the virus will be complete without investigations freely conducted in China, without investigators having free access to the evidence in China, which we highly doubt is possible anymore. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.